Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. My name is Jean Tiberio, and I'm a nutritionist and a wellness coach. Today you're listening to episode 239, and this is part 3 of my deep dive into nutrition supplements. But before I begin, I wanted to let you know that my podcast can now be found and followed on many different apps, including now an app that originates in India called Grana. And no, Ghana is not the country in Western Africa, and it's not the tropical island in the British Virgin Islands. And it's not George H.W. Bush saying, "I'm not gonna do that." It's a podcast and music app that's just a little different from the others. In addition to Google Podcasts, there's now a lot of different podcast apps where you can follow different podcasts and make playlists of your favorite music. All you have to do is Google podcast apps, and there you go. And I recommend you follow, which means you'll get a notification when a new episode pops up. And I can only speak for myself. I'm not the best at getting out an episode on the exact same day every week. It's, something I aspire to. Anyway, as I was going through these supplements, I asked myself the question, is there any evidence that these supplements are effective? Real evidence, that is, and are there any side effects? And yes, I understand this is boring material, but I want to make sure that people are aware that some of these over-the-counter supplements can have some effects, like, say, an irregular heart rhythm, that might be important to know. Just because it is sold over-the-counter, that doesn't mean the FDA thinks it's a good idea. In fact, a few of these have been banned in Canada and in Europe. So I left off with the F's, and now I'm going to start with the G's, and keep going until I can't stand to hear myself talk anymore. Eventually I'll get through the Z's, but who knows how long that will take. Now there seems to be a lot of G's here, and it includes things like ginger and Ginkgo biloba and garlic and ginseng. So I'll just get going. The G's, or as William C. Macy would say in Fargo, geez. Great movie, by the way, Fargo. Saw it 3 times. Also saw The Russians Are Coming 3 times. In Dr. Strangelove, also Catch-22. And they're oh so relevant today. But I'm going to get going because, after all, I'm still on the G's. Now, the first is Garcinia cambogia. I was surprised that some people have actually heard of this, I guess through the grapevine. This is an extract from a tropical fruit native to Indonesia. This is consumed as a tea for, guess what? Weight loss. The extract in this fruit is thought to block the production of fatty acids. In that way, as the advertisement goes, it can reduce belly fat. It is sold through Amazon, CVS, Walmart, etc. And it comes in the form of tea bags. On the label it says, helps suppress appetite. Then right below that claim, it says, quote, this statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. End quote. A disclaimer in large letters on the front of a package should be a hint that they are trying to avoid liability, i.e. lawsuits. Now, the active ingredient in this tropical fruit thing is something called hydroxycitric acid. Theoretically, it blocks an enzyme that your body uses to make the storage form of fat that we call triglycerides. But is that actually going on? And is it actually helping people lose weight? Although it has shown some moderate success, a difference of 2 pounds of weight loss in the group getting the drug versus the placebo, there are also side effects. Headache, nausea, and skin rash are the most common side effects. But it can occasionally cause hepatotoxicity, and in rare cases, liver failure. And trust me, folks, you need your liver. The Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, considers it unsafe and put out a warning in writing that it could cause serious liver problems. This substance can also interfere negatively with medications for diabetes and psych meds. Garlic. There is a substance in garlic called allicin, A-L-L-I-C-I-N. This is the substance that gives garlic its characteristic odor once you crush it or cook it. Scientists are interested in the vapor form of this substance. They tested this substance in the lab in a petri dish and found that the substance in vapor form inhibited the growth of many different pathogenic bacteria, some of which can infect the lungs. I will leave links to these studies in the show notes. I find this really interesting because it also inhibited the growth of drug-resistant strains of these pathogens, and they listed mostly Streptococcus and Staphylococcus. The theory behind this is that garlic tissue has formed a natural defense against pests and pathogens by using this allicin to attack the protein and DNA of the pathogenic bacteria. And again, several studies have shown that this actually works. And it does go after antibiotic-resistant infectious bacteria. But here comes the follow-up question. If it attacks proteins, could it, in large doses, attack our proteins? If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that it works like antibiotics in that way. Antibiotics kill the bad bacteria, but they also kill some beneficial bacteria in our own guts. But what does the research say about garlic? Can you overdo it? Although the natural source of garlic is known to be safe, garlic in pill form can have some side effects. The mild symptoms or side effects can be things like heartburn and an upset stomach. Also, garlic pills or garlic in huge doses are contraindicated for people who are on blood thinners, such as warfarin or Coumadin. If you are pregnant, you should also probably avoid this one during the pregnancy. There is some evidence that garlic may also help lower cholesterol or even blood pressure a bit, but the evidence right now is weak and generally from small studies. There will undoubtedly be more studies on garlic in the future. Okay, now we have ginger. Ginger root has been used for centuries to treat a stomach ache, as well as nausea and diarrhea. It is currently used for post-surgery nausea. It can help with the nausea from vertigo as well, like the vertigo you get when you have an inner ear infection and turn your head quickly. There is evidence that it is effective in nausea related to pregnancy, also nausea related to post-surgery and chemotherapy. Ginger is considered safe in recommended doses, but pregnant women should be aware that ginger in very high doses can increase the risk of miscarriage. Occasionally, people taking very high doses could experience heartburn or diarrhea, but it's generally safe in the recommended doses. Ginkgo biloba. Now, Ginkgo biloba is an extract from a tree native to China. This tree is actually a plant that produces seeds, but amazingly, it can live up to 1,000 years. It has been used in Chinese medicine for many, many years. It is generally taken for cognitive function, mood enhancement, dizziness or vertigo, premenstrual syndrome, or even sexual dysfunction. The active compounds in Ginkgo biloba are flavonoids and something called proanthocyanidins. That is the compound that is found in the skin of the red grape. Now, this is interesting. There is some evidence showing that Ginkgo biloba may help with dementia. Other cognitive disorders are still being investigated. But here comes the warning. People on blood thinners and pregnant women should avoid taking Ginkgo biloba. Possible side effects in high doses include bleeding, headache, stomachache, or allergic skin reactions. But you don't want to be eating raw Ginkgo biloba seeds because they could be potentially toxic. If you are interested in taking small doses for dizziness or memory, I would recommend speaking to your physician first. And again, I'll give you a link to the NIH article on Ginkgo biloba. This article was a study collectively of many articles in these types of studies are called meta-analysis. They looked at over 1,000 different studies just of Ginkgo biloba. They generally concluded that as long as people stuck to the recommended doses, it appears to be safe as directed. Ginseng. Ginseng root has been used in Chinese herbal medicine for centuries. It has been touted for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It can also be used as a stimulant, and because of this, I imagine, it can cause nervousness or insomnia in higher doses. But it appears to be safe in moderate amounts. But here's the thing. There is no solid evidence from large studies that it is effective clinically. This might be one of those situations where it won't hurt you to try it, but long-term use in high doses can cause headaches, dizziness, and an upset stomach. Ginseng became so popular in China that the plant started to become close to extinction. Because it is the root that you're taking, you have to destroy the plant to get that small portion. There is now a law stating that the plant needs to be at least 5 years old before you can pull it out of the ground and harvest the root. I guess it's a little like lobsters that way. Because the demand is so high for this root, Wisconsin is now growing ginseng, and it has become profitable for the state. Chinese now have much more disposable income, and they can pay a higher price for it. I'll add a link to the NIH study about ginseng and immunity. Here they specifically study ginseng together with influenza virus, or the flu virus, and found that ginseng did result in the production of more immunoglobulins. Now, these immunoglobulins are substances that our own body produces to fight infection. So that's a good sign. Glucomannan. This is the dietary fiber extract from the root of the elephant yam. Basically, this extract is a water-soluble or dietary fiber found in the cell walls of these plants. It is used generally as a food additive for its ability as a thickener or emulsifier. An emulsifier basically is a substance that helps blend fat-soluble and water-soluble fluids together, as in a salad dressing. The theory is that glucomannan absorbs water in your stomach and contributes to a feeling of fullness. In that way, it can certainly reduce intake at any given meal. That is, if you stop eating when you are full. In some studies, there are differences in weight loss for the group getting the glucomannan. Glucomannan absorbs water in your stomach and contributes to a feeling of fullness. In other studies, they found little or no difference. Here is my best guess as to what's going on. If people either formally or informally stop eating when they first have that feeling of fullness, a dietary fiber should work in reducing calories and weight. But many Americans continue eating after they feel full because we all feel this need somehow to clean our plate. If that is the case, glucomannan or any fiber may not give them the desired weight loss unless they stop eating before their plate is clean. If this supplement is indeed a bulking agent, it should treat constipation, and the literature seems to bear that out. So it appears to be well tolerated, but only effective if you eat less food as a result of feeling full. But there's other journal articles, such as the one from the Journal of Obesity, that says there is little or no difference. I'll put that article in the show notes too. Okay, now we have glucosamine. This is a naturally occurring substance found in cartilage. The supplement is produced from the shells of shellfish, actually. It is promoted to ease joint pain. Now, in terms of its effectiveness, it is unclear whether or not it helps with osteoarthritis pain, which is the type of pain that they studied. There is also little evidence that glucosamine has any beneficial effects on the structure of the joints. In terms of its safety, studies have shown, I love saying that it may interfere with the blood thinner Coumadin. Otherwise, there are no serious side effects. Now, the next is glutamine. Glutamine is an amino acid, and it's similar to its cousin, glutamate. Now, this is taken for athletic performance, and of course, there is no evidence that it plays a role in improving athletic performance, because it is indeed an amino acid. Athletes seldom suffer from a lack of protein, but there may be an interesting role for glutamine in our body. The synthesis of glutamine from glutamate requires the attachment of an ammonia functional group. Now, this may play a role in controlling ammonia levels in our bloodstream and our brain, but they have not found that glutamine, when taken as a supplement, avoids being broken down by our body. Goldenseal. Now, goldenseal is a perennial herb in the buttercup family. People may have heard of its use to mask the presence of drugs in the urine, but it is not effective for sure. Goldenseal has been taken for the common cold and digestive problems or stomach upset. In the past, Native Americans have used goldenseal as a medicinal plant for skin rashes. The claims about it fighting allergies may be more interesting, but presently there is still no clinical evidence of any beneficial uses. That doesn't mean that it has no beneficial use. It just means that there is no clinical evidence to prove it. Scientists think now that the active ingredient is something called berberine. If this berberine is taken orally, it is not absorbed in the body. It might need to be encapsulated or taken another way. So if you're taking goldenseal in capsule form, you might be wasting your money. Just FYI. Grape seed extract. Grape seed extract contains an antioxidant called oligomeric proanthocyanidin. It is found in both the skin and seeds of the red grape. Studies have shown that it may help edema and may lower systolic blood pressure. It had no effect on cholesterol levels, however. Right now there is an ongoing study looking at grape seed extract in treating Alzheimer's disease. That could be more interesting. Stay tuned for more on grape seed extract and Alzheimer's. And that hints to me that possibly researchers are looking into maybe other antioxidants in terms of its ability to slow down the progression of the disease. Green coffee bean extract for weight loss, supposedly. This extract from unroasted coffee contains both caffeine and chlorogenic acid. In 2012, Dr. Oz promoted the supplement for weight loss, which should make it immediately suspicious. However, a review of the literature suggests that there may be something promising here in terms of weight loss for obese individuals. We know that caffeine by itself raises heart rate and slightly increases metabolic rate. To this date, though, there have been no studies separating the caffeine from the chlorogenic acid, so we don't know which substance is creating the beneficial effect. One theory is that this extract affects the absorption of glucose. This may also suppress the accumulation of liver triglycerides. Both of these things, if proven true, would be a great thing. But as of 2020, these theories have not been proven true. Green tea or matcha. Like coffee, tea contains caffeine, which can raise your metabolic rate just a little bit. By the way, matcha green tea contains about 35 milligrams of caffeine per cup. Now, for comparison's sake, black tea contains about 26 to 30 milligrams of caffeine per cup, slightly less but not much, and brewed coffee contains about 100 milligrams of caffeine per cup. So tea has much less caffeine than coffee. But tea also has catechins, which is an antioxidant mixture also present in chocolate and red wine. But when it was studied with a double-blind placebo, this matcha green tea was found to have no effect on weight loss. Okay, still on the G's, we have guar gum. This is a thickener used to reduce crystal size in ice cream. It has been touted as a soluble fiber to relieve constipation. But this is interesting. It has been banned as a weight loss pill due to swelling and obstruction in the intestines that can occasionally occur. So no to guar gum. But fear not, there are only about 1,000 sources of soluble fiber available that will help relieve constipation and may help with weight loss. Now, here's an interesting one. Grana, that's Guarana. In a double-blind placebo study, this herbal supplement did appear to have some success in promoting weight loss in obese people. This study looked at Grana in combination with mahuang, or Chinese ephedra, so both substances were used together. Because of the potential toxicity of ephedra, it can cause hypertension or tachycardia. The recommendation is if you're using this to limit doses until further investigation is completed. Okay, now we're on to the H's. Hawthorn. Now, this hawthorn is a plant with a small red berry. Either the leaves or the berries can be extracted and used as supplements. Now, when the berry itself is eaten, there appears to be no harm and potential benefits, maybe similar to other red berries like cranberries. It has traditionally been used for digestive problems and sometimes high blood pressure. In older short-term studies, there seems to be some benefit in, believe it or not, congestive heart failure patients. But in a more recent long-term study, those benefits were not repeated. And who knows why, really. With human research studies, there are so many variables, which is why scientists like to repeat them. There has been a warning issued that this supplement may interfere with other heart medications, so certainly consult your physician if you're planning to take this. That goes ditto for pretty much any supplement on this list. So this could be administered in moderate amounts under the care of a physician. High-dose symptoms mostly include GI upset, unless you're on heart medications, as I've just mentioned. Now, Hoodia. Hoodia is a flowering cactus that grows in the African desert. The supplement is used as an appetite suppressant. As of this date, 2020, there has been only one study of Hoodia supplements in people. That study showed that there was no weight loss above that of the placebo group. In higher doses, that study showed that the people taking Hoodia did have some nausea, but otherwise no major side effects. Horse chestnut. The horse chestnut is a flowering tree that produces seeds. The supplement that is extracted from the horse chestnut is called esculin. This has been taken to improve peripheral circulation. In other words, this is taken to help the veins in the lower legs pump the blood back to the heart. The bark of this tree can also be ground and used to treat skin sores. There is some evidence here from 17 studies that a safer form of esculin called Escin, E-S-C-I-N, is effective in treating some leg pain and swelling. They concluded that it could be as effective as wearing those awful compression stockings. However, it has not been proven to be effective for other uses. Kava kava. Now, this kava kava is a plant native to the Pacific Islands that is used as an herbal remedy. It is used for anxiety and as a healthier alternative to alcohol. However, it has been banned in many countries of Europe and Canada due to its history of possibly causing liver damage. And we need our livers, ladies and gentlemen. The FDA has warned the public about the risk of liver damage, especially when combined with alcohol. As of 2020, it has not yet been banned in the United States. Kola nut. Now, the kola nut is the fruit of the kola tree, and this is native to the rainforests of Africa. It has been used for a caffeine energy boost by West Africans for hundreds of years. People traveling long distances by foot would stuff these kola nuts in their pockets. The kola nut extract does contain caffeine and is labeled by the FDA as a natural flavoring ingredient. Now, fun fact, it was originally the cola pot of Coca-Cola, and contributed caffeine. Although the Coca-Cola formula is top secret, the rumor is that it is no longer in there. Cola nut is now used in energy drinks, however. The high caffeine content of energy drinks can raise the metabolic rate and therefore possibly lower body weight. However, now we are talking about energy drinks like Red Bull and Monster. Studies have shown that in high doses, these energy drinks can be seen on an EKG as a slightly irregular heart rhythm. And I don't have to tell you, like the liver, the heart is kinda sorta an important organ. Now I'm going to stop here, and I will continue with the LMNOPs next week. Stay well, and stay tuned next week for another episode of Healing Outside the Box.